Image gallery pages are great for getting people in the consideration stage onto your website, but did you know you can also use those images to get traffic from YouTube too? In today's video, I'll show you how to quickly convert your images into a slideshow video you can upload to YouTube using Camtasia. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is actually change how long each image is going to be on the screen for. So if we go to File, Edit, and then Preferences, and then underneath where it says timings, it's got images. If we set that to 7 for this project and say OK, every time we pull an image in now, it's going to by default be 7 seconds long, so it's going to mean we don't have to spend a bunch of time changing them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab all these images. So I've got them all right here already stored locally on my computer, and I'm going to click on one of them and hold Control and then A to highlight all of them, and then just drag them, drop them all into here. Now I've put them on track 1 at the moment, but what we're going to do is while we have them all selected is just bring them up to track 2 like that, and then let go. That's because we want to put some music in here as well after. Right now, because the images are all different sizes, what we actually have to do is go through each one of them manually to make them fill the screen. So I'm just going to hide this bit here so we can see. If we was to actually publish this right now, we got this black around the edges, which doesn't really look great. And so what I'm going to do instead is hold Control and then hover on this little corner icon here, and then drag it out until it snaps to the edges like that, and as you can see that looks a lot better. And then I'm going to go to the next image, and that one actually fits pretty much perfect, so I'm going to leave that as it is. And then the next image, okay, so this one needs a bit of work, so I'm going to do the same thing, Control, drag it out, and then I'm going to move that up a little bit so it's a little bit easier to understand what the image is of. And I'm basically just going to go through and do this for every single image. I've got 66 here, and I'm going to do it for each one. It's going to take me probably 2 or 3 minutes to do, and I'm going to pause the video while I do it and then come back and show you the next step. Another quick tip when you're going through these is make sure you're prioritizing getting the images of the people into here, because people, like, you know, don't be going zooming into the chair or something like this. Like, this is not what people want to see. They want to see how they'll be when they have this thing, how it will improve their quality of life, what sort of things they can, like, who they can become, especially when these people are looking happy like this. So you want to prioritize the ones with people in always. And that's all of the images now processed. So what we're going to do now is, if you actually look at these, if we was to just leave this as is, as it plays through, it's just going to snap to the next image. What we want to do is actually replace that with something so it looks a little bit nicer. So if we highlight all of these to select them all, and then if we go to transitions, and then we can basically choose from a bunch of different transitions here that we can use. If you hover on them, it will show you. I like to just use simple ones. Things like this get a little bit tacky after a while. So I like the one where it just slides into the next one. Is it this one here? No. Is it this one? Page turn. Is it this one? Slide left. This is the one I like. So if you just hold on that and then drag and drop it, if you've got them all selected, it'll apply it to every single one of them. So now when we actually watch through this, what will happen is, if you look over here, it's going to slide through to the next image like this. So that's pretty much it done, and we've got a 7-minute video right here that could keep people engaged if they are actually looking for this thing. In fact, it often does do very well. And so the only other thing we want to do is actually add some music to this video, because we want something to keep the engagement going. And the best way to do that quickly, you can use Camtasia's music, but you can also look on YouTube. There's loads more on there. So if we actually head over to YouTube right now, you can actually do a search for YouTube attribution free music, and then click on this one right here. And then what we want to do is under where it's got attribution right here, if we click on this and then say not required, we can use any of these songs right here in our videos completely free. So we know that the video that's just been made is 7 minutes 42 long. So we actually want to get quite a long one. So if we go to duration and then over 5 minutes, we aren't really going to be able to use this one because it's 5 minutes long. You know, we need something that's around 8 minutes, so we'll have to go through that. If we go to mood now, because this is like with the design industry, we want it to be something inspirational. Like, you got to bear in mind, you don't want to put the music to these videos as something that's your personal preference. Like if you're into hard rock or hip hop or something, like that's not really the frame of mind those people are going to be in right there. It's not going to fit. So you're trying to inspire these people, so use something like inspirational or dramatic. So if we go filter by inspirational, and then we could just look through these. So I know this one's not going to be any good because this is 5 minutes, it's too short. But this one right here, for example, 11 minutes is easily long enough. So just check them out. So this is something I'm not keen on when they take a while to start playing, because then you've got a bunch of time at the beginning where it's quiet. So that's something that you might have to edit out if you did want to go with this one. This is basically just ambient noise, so that one might work. What's this one like? 17 minutes. This one's not playing for me. Oh, here we go. Okay, another one that's ambient noise. This is John Kennedy's speech. Is this too short? Too short. We've got 9 minutes. Okay, I'm actually just going to go ahead and use that first one here because this one was okay, and I'll cut out the beginning of the music. So if I just click on the download right here, and now I've got this, I can just click on it and then drag, go to Camtasia, and then drop it in where it's got track 1 right here, and then move this back. And then what I actually want to do is zoom right in and then move this along so we get rid of all that where it's quiet. And then if we play, it starts pretty much straight away. One thing I am going to do as well is, you see how this first image slides in? It looks kind of bad because it's sliding in from black. It's kind of unnecessary. So I'm just going to select that one right there and then hit the delete button so I can get rid of that. And then as we play this through now, it's only going to do the sliding when there's actually another image for it to slide into. So that looks good. And then the only other thing we have to do is, because the music's now a lot longer than the images are, this would upload at 11 minutes, which we obviously don't want because there's going to be a bunch of time with just a black screen. So if we just select on here and then drag this until it snaps there, now we have our 7-minute 42 video, and it's animated, it's got background music, and this can go on YouTube right now and start getting us traffic. By putting the link in the description to where the image gallery originally was, we can send traffic back through because they're going to be able to see the specific image that they want. And these are really good, and obviously this has only took me, I think in total, about 15 minutes to put this together. I had all the images already because I created the image gallery, and so this is going to be a really good asset to just stick on YouTube and just leave, and it will just grow over time. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know how important it is to have a clear call to action. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add one to this now to finish this video off. If you go to library and then under outros, you can click on this one right here, and we can drag this in and move it up to here. And in this, we're basically going to tell people exactly what to do. So these fields are a little bit backwards. This is actually the one that's in the yellow box. So if we put in the top one where it says thanks for watching, if we replace that with the thing that's going to make people actually go ahead and do this, what we're asking them to do. So if we say want to see more kitchens, and then in this text right here we could say visit your website, and then all we want to do other than that, if we just delete everything in these other boxes for now, and then in this one here, if we just put link in description, we want to make this as easy as possible for people. And then if we just change this color to white so it looks a little bit better, and then when you look right here, what it looks like is that this actual text isn't necessarily centered. So if we just click on this whole thing and then press the down key arrow to move it down, now it looks a little bit more centered. And what will happen now is when we play this through, it will fade in like this, which looks really cool. The only thing that's not cool, obviously, is the fact that the music just cuts out. So what we can actually do is we can extend this music out to where it ends, and then what happens now is it will play, but then it will just cut out dead as well, which also doesn't sound great. So if you look, there's this animation for it to go out. So what we can do really quickly is we can, if we click, get it to about here, make sure we're selected onto the audio layer, and then click on this one right here that splits it into two separate things. And then on this one, we can right click here on this where the line is, and we can say add audio point, and then we can right click here and say add audio point, and then we can drag this one down like this, and then that will make it fade out. So now when it plays through, it's going to sound a lot better because it will actually fade out. So if we listen, Okay, so actually I think what I might do is make that a little bit more. So if I pull that back a bit and go to 0% like that, that will fade out a little bit nicer. Let's try again. So obviously that's a lot more smooth and less abrupt. And we really now have a good video that we can stick on YouTube that may actually start driving traffic to the site. The reason why I say link in the description is so it makes it a lot easier for people to actually do, because if they've got to type out the website address, it's going to be a lot harder than just clicking on a link that's in the description. So that's really all you need to do. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.